First, the Israeli military says the U.S. brokered ceasefire in Gaza is in effect. The deal has raised hopes for ending the Israel-Hamas war, with all the remaining hostages taken in the October 7th attack set to be released within days. Questions remain over who will govern Gaza as Israeli troops gradually pull back and whether Hamas will disarm. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, who unilaterally ended a ceasefire in March, hinted that Israel might renew its offensive in Hamas if Hamas does not give up its weapons. Displaced Palestinians in central Gaza voiced hope as they moved north after a ceasefire between Israel and Hamas took effect. One man saying this is an indescribable day, the happiest day of our lives. Today, the war has ended. Overnight, Israeli forces were seen pulling back according to the terms of the deal with Hamas. Late Thursday evening, Israel's government approved the Gaza ceasefire resolution.
I wish to thank President Trump for his global leadership and his tireless efforts in formulating the plan for the release of the hostages. Once again, he has demonstrated his great friendship toward our people and our nation.
A Hamas official thanked Trump for his role, but also said former UK Prime Minister Tony Blair would not be welcomed in Gaza as part of Trump's interim supervisory body in the enclave. A senior U.S. official says the United States is sending 200 troops to be on the ground to monitor the implementation of the ceasefire agreement. They'll join soldiers from Egypt, Turkey, Qatar, and the United Arab Emirates.
Hamas now has 72 hours to return the hostages, which could put the return of the hostages as late as, but perhaps sooner than, Monday at noon. And that also suggests that President Trump's visit on Monday will coincide quite shortly thereafter or right before the release of those hostages. And perhaps we will see President Trump actually being able to greet some of those hostages.
But Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, in a televised address, implied that not all of the deceased hostages held in Gaza may return. There are also nearly 2,000 Palestinian prisoners that will be freed as part of the deal. Israel's hospitals and social services are preparing for the arrival of hostages.
Everyone come with a different trauma, but the loss of control and the trauma that they passed in the October 7th, it's the biggest one. And everyone will remember different things.
Life as they knew it 2 years ago will never be the same. They will never get the same sense of dedication and identification and safety and security that they had before. It's impossible to undo it and pretend it didn't happen.
Meanwhile, the UN children's charity UNICEF called for all crossings for aid into war-shattered Gaza to be opened, saying deaths among children could rise given their immune systems have been badly compromised.
The situation is critical. We risk seeing a massive spike in child deaths, not only neonatal, but also infants, given their immune systems are more compromised than ever before, nor have they had access to proper food for what it's now years. To add to this cold winter, without adequate shelter and clothing, will be lethal.
The United Nations World Food Program said it's ready to rapidly scale up aid deliveries into Gaza.
The biggest challenge that we've seen thus far is the movement from outside of Gaza into Gaza. And this is where we've seen a lot of impediment. So we need all crossings to be open. We need rapid facilitation of movement through these crossings. So this includes the scanning of trucks, the approvals of convoys, etc. This is where we see the real bottleneck at the moment.
Trump is expected to visit Israel on Monday.